Sliding scooter dependent. I come something new when I'm driving. Driving off the roof, no ceiling. Got a skyline view when I'm riding.
Gang. What's poppin', man? Welcome back to another scene, another live. You feel me? I had to go live tonight. Earlier, I wasn't feeling right, man. Yeah, I was, migrained out. Don't know what happened, what took place, but at the end of the day, I'm feeling well and swell. Had to get up and do it live. If you smoking right now, if you chop, wake and bake, however you got to do it. At the end of the day, man, mental sanity is everything. I think when it comes to life, I think mental sanity is everything. I think a lot of us got to learn how to protect our mental sanity. You understand what I'm saying? I think we do. I think a lot of people don't do that enough. Let me make sure my sound is playing on this live game before we jump in. Like I said, I got to make sure this is going. But yeah, mental sanity is everything, man. Castanet, they said he was going mentally insane when it comes to, the industry, making money. And I think a lot of people, when they come to making money out here, yeah, they go insane. They go a little crazy. You understand what I'm saying? Let me make sure my sound is on. You feel me? I want to make sure, y'all. Let me see.
Was his performance at YouTube Live. Not so much for his song, but rather his mortified reaction to Katy Perry's awkward intro.
He's funny, he's filthy, and he's gotten over 20 million views on his YouTube, and he's only 18 years old. Thank God you're 18 at least. He's here to play his world premiere of his new song, Welcome to YouTube. Come on, everybody, make some noise for Bo Burnham!
Thank you, Mrs. Perry.
Although many consider him a pioneer of YouTube, Bo had his sights set on Hollywood. I always wanted to be a comedian and actor, Burnham explained. I basically stumbled into the music medium, though. Musically, he adds, I'm okay, but that's about it. I like to think I'm good enough not to negatively affect the performance. From there, YouTube would just become this sort of catalog or landing page where he would return whenever it was time to release new material. Entering 2009, he leveled up his production higher than ever, releasing his first self-titled album. The album mostly included songs that had already...
He released his own album. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? When you believe in yourself to the extreme, ain't nothing wrong with that. I like the album cover. But Bo Burnham was really his whole mission was trying to tell people, hey, yo, look, wake up. Wake up. They're gonna play y'all, you're very talented. This is what's gonna be the thing that bring you down, that bring you to your end or whatever they're not. And a lot of people don't want to hear that shit. They're like, Bo, look, we don't want to hear that save the world shit right now. We just want to hear you make crazy ass songs talking about people. You feel me? Doing weird ass shit, which is understandable. But I think Bo had a different agenda.
Been uploaded to his channel. He said, I wanted to show respect for the online community, that I think what pleases you guys, what you guys like, is good enough for any medium. The album received positive reviews from critics and peaked at #1 on the US Billboard Comedy Albums chart. It also entered the US Billboard Independent Albums chart, peaking at number 12, and was later certified gold. Despite seeing...
How in the hell it was certified gold? That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. Like if y'all heard what Bo Burnham was saying in some of his music, it was wild. Like, gang, he had a weird type of mindset when it comes to music creation. He was talking about people. It was a little dark. It was a little insensitive, if you ask me. But I understood the agenda behind it. So maybe that's
much success early on in his career. Not everyone were exactly huge fans.
Shout out to Patrick CC too. This is video, this is channel. Y'all make sure y'all go over there, check this brother out. He got great videos, man. He do hell of great work. So shout out to him. Let's keep going.
Of his comedy. On March 2nd, 2009, 15 Westminster College students protested his concert there that evening due to his use of homophobic and racist language.
Gay bashing is wrong, which is so ironic because
he'd say some crazy
shit. Gay bashers would lay.
You see, he was saying some crazy shit. Bo was saying some shit that'll make you scream. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people weren't liking that. You got homophobic slurs you saying to people. I don't think nobody want to hear that shit, Bo. They're like, come on, get this guy out of here,
people me, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like the butt of that, and then all of a sudden I'm a gay basher. In 6 months, I completely changed. Who'd have thunk it?
Bo continued to defend his jokes. I try and write satire that's well-intentioned, but those intentions have to be hidden. It can't be completely clear, and that's what makes it comedy. This small incident ultimately had no impact on his career. He embarked on his first nationwide tour titled The Fake ID Tour. He booked more televised events like an appearance on Carson Daly's MTV show and NBC's Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. And he even earned a 20-minute Comedy Central stand-up special called Fractions Speak Louder Than Words.
Because having sex is like quadratic expansion. If it can't be split, then it's time to stop. And having sex is like a doing fractions. It's improper for the larger one to be on top. Yeah, having sex is like math homework. I do it best when I'm alone in my bed. And squaring numbers are just like women. If they're under 13, just them in your head.
At age 19,
That was too far right there, gang. I don't know what the fuck I don't know what's wrong with that. He went far as hell. Like, come on, gang. You could have kept that last joke to yourself, Bo. You could have. You see, sometimes these motherfuckers do go a little far, and I think that's why his shit was like, no, keep this nigga, put him up. We don't want to hear that, or shut him up. One of the two, you understand?
Burnham debuted his stand-up routine, Words, 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 at the Boston House of Blues, becoming the youngest person ever to get an hour-long special on Comedy Central. The album charted on 4 separate Billboard charts and peaked at #1 on the Billboard Comedy Chart. And while his music gradually became
#1, he peaked at #1 on 4 different charts. I think they was trolling him. I think they wanted him to feel like, yo, he's doing something because they knew his agenda too. You know, he's trying to speak out. He's saying too much. We gonna tease him, right? Let's tease his ass. And Bo, he peaking at #1 every time. If y'all notice, the people that do peak like that, the people that do get all that limelight, you notice how fast they get boosted into the limelight. Just pay attention, like how fast everything take off for them. You know what I'm saying? Always pay attention.
more mainstream, his audience didn't seem to care. If anything, they applauded Burnham's improved wordplay and ability to remain true to himself. Also, he was being recognized as a fresh face in comedy. He was able to sit down with legends.
My bad. I can attest to that. If they giving him applause by speaking out, about the government, ain't nothing wrong with that. Now, damn it, so be it. But what he was saying was going to sooner or later get him canceled. You feel me? Because they got the right to have that shit shut up. Like, they don't want that being heard out there. They don't want nobody out there thinking, negative about their businesses, their companies, their brand, none of that shit. And you got too many people like Bo Burnham coming out here like, look, let me expose these assholes. Let me tell y'all what they doing with y'all money, how they got y'all tricked. You feel me? What they got y'all following and believing in. So
legends like Judd Apatow, Mark Maron, Ray Romano, and Gary Shandling.
Is that Bo actually, when he performs, there's a lot of ironic detachment there. There's a lot of, you're not really revealing anything yourself.
I never talk about what I really think about on stage directly because I don't value what I think at this point. I don't think anyone wants to get up and hear a 20-year-old tell them what they think about how the world works.
Would you do me a favor?
So I just kind of make jokes.
Would you do me a favor? Would you do Art is Dead?
Must be psychotic, it must be demented to think that I'm worthy of all this attention, of all of this money you worked really hard for. I slept in late while you worked at the drugstore. My drug's attention, I am an addict, but I get paid to indulge in my habit. It's all in.
You see? Like, listen to what he's saying, Maybe he's telling some truth in his music. Maybe he's telling some truth like, look, I don't feel worth the money y'all giving me. I don't feel worth the attention y'all giving me. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe. And dude shutting him up in the middle of his conversation, like, can you just sing that one song again, Bo? Can you do that one song? Like, hold on, let him speak. He's trying to tell y'all how he really feel.
Losing. I'm wearing makeup.
The song Art is Dead was way ahead of its time and shockingly profound for the 19-year-old. And in a way, he spent the rest of his career continuously rewriting the exact premise of this song. Some comedians are prophetic and extremely introspective and extrospective about the ever-changing society we live in. They almost know too much for their own good, which results in them seeming highly intelligent, which is also ironic because they are constantly telling silly juvenile jokes, or in Bo's case, singing silly songs. Most people still thought Bo at this point was some theater geek who needs to go touch grass.
A theater geek who needs to go touch ground. That's crazy. I don't know. Bo seemed like he was reaching, and I knew, me personally, I know they could tell how to deal with Bo. They know exactly what level and what lane to keep him in. They know what doors not to let him in. You know what I'm saying? And they also know what doors to let him in. They know how far to let a person like this go, because we know you got a hidden agenda to expose us. Your songs sound crazy. Your songs, you feel me, telling me you don't deserve this, that. So therefore, it also tells us that you really is a governmental exposer. And then on top of that, like Bo saying all types of shit about other celebrities in his songs. Like if you go down Bo history of his YouTube, you feel me, you can see where he had a lot of more crazier things that he was saying and singing about.
Marc Maron described his song as cute. Art is Dead is both a confession and a critique, as Burnham wrestles with his role in an industry that is more about profit, ego, and attention than genuine creativity.
You heard him? He both start talking about the government and the industries that he's in that's more about profit, ego. You feel me? They're not about creativity. They're not about true talent. They never been about that. We knew the music industry been left true talent and, you know what I'm saying, true creativity a long time ago, when they seen how much money they can get just off of how you look or how you dance. Yeah, for real.
Or contribution to society. But because of his Bieber hair and nervous energy, they didn't take him seriously. But the biggest reason why Bo was, and is still successful, is because he truly values the process of developing his act and doesn't rush out new material. In 2010, he explained his mentality. If I don't feel like doing this next month, I won't do it. And if I don't think I'm good anymore, or if I haven't carved something new, then I will quit. This approach is what gave him the time to write and perfect the next stand-up special that would drastically change his career. First, it's worth mentioning that What was released on Netflix, meaning Bo was...
What? What? Is that the where the punchline at now? Because, like, dude, that do show you, like, they don't got no motherfucking care about creativity. They don't care about the creativity. They don't care how you come. They just want your ass out there so they can make some money off of you. And they hope that you come in stupid. They hope you come in saying some retarded ass shit. 9 times out of 10, you know, it always seemed like the people that they pay the big bucks to be the ones trying to expose the most. You feel me? Out the government. That's crazy. And I think they want you to come like that, to make yourself look like an even more fool. Because nowadays, people still struggling with what to believe. Man, you throw an AI video out there, people don't know if the AI video real or not, gang. So, you know, it's hard for somebody to believe you about the government doing this, tricking people doing that. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't it's far-fetched. Ain't nobody gonna want to hear that shit.
Was an early adopter on 2 different platforms because nobody could have predicted the absolute powerhouse that Netflix would become, especially in the world of stand-up comedy. Second, people knew Bo was good, but this special unlocked a creative potential that took everyone by surprise.
So he unlocked another move, like a character. He unlocked another move, gang. You feel me? He unlocked a new move, like a Dragon Ball Z character. What type of video game shit is this?
That went beyond the straightforward comedic skits of his earlier YouTube videos, blending comedy, music, theater, and philosophy. He created a multimedia experience that used intricate lighting, sound cues, and staging in ways not typically seen in stand-up. What added a level of maturity and introspection.
What was that? What the fuck? They pay him millions for that? What the fuck?
To his work, departing from purely surface-level teenage edgy humor.
You think you know better than everybody. You will die alone. But in the meantime, you might as well tell those silly jokes of yours.
The very first line in the first song he performed.
It sounds like he's talking to himself. That was weird. Only motherfucker telling silly jokes is Bo. It sounded like that message was to himself, gang. Well, hold on, let's go back.
Said, well, introspection to his work, departing from purely surface-level teenage edgy humor.
You think you know better than everybody. You will die alone. But in the meantime, you might as well tell those silly jokes of yours.
The very first line in the first song he performed said, you used to do comedy when you felt like being funny, but now you're contractually obligated, so dance, you effing monkey. tone that he was going to explore the more complex dynamics of fame, artistic integrity, and a comedian's role in society.
Being a comedian isn't being an insensitive prick capitalizing on the most animalistic impulses of the public. It's being a hero.
But make no mistake, this thing was still filled with absurdist humor.
Yo, fellas, don't you hate it when you're blowing a guy and he ends up being a fat? Am I right?
What the fuck? Shout out to everybody on the line. Most definitely, man. Most definitely. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Most definitely. Shout out to Miss Freeland. Always in the building. I love y'all out there. At the end of the day, I don't know what type of comedy that was right there, Bo. Is promoting. That's weird. Like, come on, gang. How old was he?
But make no mistake, this thing was.
Yeah, he's the only one telling silly jokes. You know what I feel like this? He's the only one telling silly jokes, man. You know, could that first line be to himself? That first line could have possibly been to himself. You know, he talking about himself. I think artists, when they do things like this, gang, or comedians, he's an artist. I mean, shit. An artist can't be a comedian. He creating funny jokes for people to laugh off of. I feel like when they do things like this, I think they do got a hidden agenda. They're trying to let the world know something. They're trying to let the world know something. They're trying to put people on some type of gang, some type of, you know, some knowledge that they know of. And everybody probably ain't picking it up. Now, I used to always want to know, like, where do all these celebrities get this information from? Like Patrick CC said, sometimes it seems like a lot of them know a little bit too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know more than what we know they should know. Like, they deeply involved. They was involved and wanted to back out, but the only person telling silly jokes is Bo here. And so when it said what it said about you will die, but you might as well tell those silly jokes. You feel me? Like, that part scared the shit out of me because I'm like, wait, I'm the only motherfucker up here telling these desensitized ass jokes. You feel me? Uncensored ass jokes, gang. Like, make this shit make sense. And then I'm the one trying to point out the government, like, if that's what, come on, Bo.
Was still filled with absurdist humor.
Yo, fellas, don't you hate it when you're blowing a guy and he ends up being a fat? Am I right? I've been blowing a fat this whole time.
Or how about the full 1.5 minute section where he simulated himself pleasing himself? But this special is definitely remembered for.
Now that's weird. Why would they allow him to go through with that? That was pure embarrassment. They allowed him to purely embarrass himself. You understand what I'm saying? If I was Bo, I wouldn't even want to go through. I'm gonna bring some of my truest creativity to the goddamn platform. But at that point, even if he would have brought his truest creativity, they wouldn't want to see that. Don't nobody want to watch his true creativity, because let's be real, we in a world right now of people who really don't want to see your true talent. They don't want to see how skillful you can truly be. They don't want to see how mindful you can really be. You understand what I'm saying? That's the world we live in. And I think at that time, Bo was probably trying to let that be known. But you know what Bo ended up doing? He ended up falling in love with that money. He ended up falling in love with that bag. He couldn't deny the bag. He let that money run into his pocket, into his bank account. So
its impressive musical numbers and exploring themes of our destructive world and existentialism. From God's Perspective is a song that addresses religion, as Burnham, from God's perspective, argues that people shouldn't think their religious views protect them from being bad people. He even criticized religious people who constantly argue whose perspective is correct, questioning, but no one entertains the thought that maybe God does not believe in you. This balance of comedy and darker, more personal themes would become a defining element of his style. Perhaps.
You know what I'm saying? I said that this man had dark themed ass songs, like, and it went gold. You know, who was really sitting listening to it? I'm not saying that it's probably not right, or it's probably not, you know, popping or hot to nobody else. But, you know, where I come from, no, that shit ain't hot. We ain't trying to hear nothing like that, gang. We hear this shit all day. You know, y'all got them white rock and roll song makers who be all on the radio. They got them screaming to the top of their long ass songs, telling you about the devil and, you know, how he's gonna burn you and this and that and other. And like, come on, gang, that shit ain't scary enough. The probably go pay some motherfucker millions of dollars to, you know, scream this shit to his fans and get on stage and do acts of pleasing himself. Like, that shit ain't cool. What's wrong? What's wrong with the motherfuckers who got money? This is what they paying for. They paying people to sit around and watch this shit. Like, you know, that shit don't make sense. And I had a motherfucker tell me on my podcast, like, man, can you show something? We don't want to hear you talk. Bitch ass nigga, you gonna hear me talk because you hoe ass niggas don't hear enough of that. You know, you hoe niggas out there definitely don't hear enough of truth. Ain't no truth in them niggas out there, man.
The most memorable part of the show was a song called Repeat Stuff, which criticizes the emptiness of modern pop songs. More specifically, the ones performed by musicians like Justin Bieber and One Direction, who used...
Yeah, me out the name Justin Bieber and One Direction. Damn. Oh, no. Man, Justin Bieber is a good artist. I like Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber be doing this thing. Shout out to you, Justin Bieber. You know what I'm saying? You took over the show the other day when you did that performance. You was on stage. You rocked out. I don't know what made you come out there in your underwear. That was sort of crazy. You scared the shit out of me with that. But, you know, besides that, the voice was on point. You played the music on point. You did everything on top, gang. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, some people, they don't like these artists. Yeah, some people feel like a lot of them say the same thing. What about the mumble rap artists? That's what we need to talk about. When rap motherfuckers who can't rap. It's a whole bunch of niggas who really can't rap. Them niggas don't be saying nothing. All they doing is telling you how many hoes they fuck, who they fuck, why they fuck them, what type of cars they driving, how much money they spent, how much they clothes is. Nobody care. I really don't give a fuck. Motherfuckers just like me, they don't give a fuck about what y'all talking about in them rap songs, nor do the people that's paying y'all. That's the killer part. Them people that's paying y'all don't even care about what y'all rapping about. They want you to go out there and embarrass yourself so they can get a check off your dumb ass, file insurance on your dumb ass. You feel me?
Use the same formula to hypnotize little girls and rake in millions of dollars. He sings, "Oh girl, I hope you don't think that I'm rude when I tell you that I love you, boo. I also hope that you don't see through this cleverly constructed ruse designed by a marketing team cashing in on puberty and low self-esteem and girls' desperate need to feel loved."
What the song?
Damn. That nigga hit the motherfucking target on the mark right there. He hit the target on the mark. Bo was a little, you know, advanced. Bo was a little advanced for his time, gang. He out there, he exploiting some of the biggest secrets already. At the end, that's why they paid that nigga that money. They wanted to rake him in, really me in real close, and they wanted to tell that nigga something. Look, man, you keep running your motherfucking fat ass lips in these goddamn songs, bro. You gonna do something. Now you gonna get your ass up there and sing it. You gonna make yourself look like a fool, and we're gonna confirm that you is a fool. We're gonna confirm you is a fool, and after that, you know, we're gonna let you go about your miserable life. We're gonna mentally fuck you up. You know, we're gonna mentally disrupt you, destabilize you. That's what's going on with Bo right now. Bo probably going so crazy right now, boy. He's screaming. You understand what I'm saying? So y'all gotta pay attention, man. When people like this, like Mel Gibson, like I said, I'm gonna do that video for y'all. A few others, man, that I gotta tap in and do. But pay attention, man.
Songs basically do is they're love songs to girls, and they describe the girls as vaguely as they possibly can, so that every girl can think that that song's about them. So it's like I love how your fingerprints are different than everybody else's, and like I love how your eyes have that like bluish, brownish, greenish color, and your torso is an arm on either side of it.
And just before the end of the track, Bo abruptly interrupts the song to portray the artist selling their soul or body to Satan.
If you're my agent, you might be thinking, oh no, sound the alarms. You're not appealing to little girls who don't have arms, but they can use iTunes, so who needs them? Oh girl, oh hello, Satan. Oh, Satan, you taste so good. Repeat stuff, repeat stuff.
What the fuck?
Repeat stuff, repeat stuff.
He closes with the intense and...
Wait, what is on Bo mind? Before we continue, did y'all just see what the hell I seen? What the... Somebody make this make sense. See, for attention, I would never go that far. For attention, I'm not going that far. I think I did one thing like that was not even like what he did, mouth on no motherfucking mic, hell no, but just went as far as putting on the woman characteristics and trying to make the woman side of a comedy skit. Yeah, I ain't like it. Like, you know how the artists put the dresses on and shit. I ain't like it. I really wasn't feeling it. You know what I'm saying? I won't do it again. But at the end of the day, this shit right here is by far too much. Doing what this nigga doing, that's too much. Wow, what's wrong with him? I understand the person trying to get out there to the public like, hey, yo, everybody's selling songs, you know, just to get real famous. I understand that, but it's another way around. You ain't got to do that. You ain't have to do that, man. It's another way around. It's so many people right now that's doing this. They harming themselves or fucking up their own mental, structure just to expose or exploit the government, gang. Like, man, it ain't that. You can do something else if you never go around. Write a letter or something. Email somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Hauntingly orchestrated musical number, We Think We Know You. In the song, Burnham seems to grapple with the pressure of audience expectations, the struggle to stay authentic, and the reality of being placed in a box by his fans and the public. As the song reaches its peak, Burnham stops abruptly, which results in a powerful silence where the audience understands what the song and what the entire special is actually about.
We think we know you. 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 We think we know you.
Okay, I don't want no motherfucking copyright strikes right away. I don't want that. I'm sure he ain't gonna get one, though. Let me see.
We know, yeah.
This ending tells viewers that more than just a comedy show, this was an exploration of the contradictions of our pretentious society, the dangers of celebrity worship, as well as foreshadowing the deeper existential themes that would characterize Burnham's later work. And at this point,
you see what I'm saying? So now he fully exposing what he really want to do. Why would he do that? That's crazy. You going there with the people that pay you, gang. They paying you. You know, so you think you finna exploit them? You think you finna... Come on, man. That shit don't work like that, Bo. Bo had to probably find out the hard way that, look, this shit ain't all what you thought it's going to be. And it always happen like that with these celebrities. These celebrities tend to put themselves in a framework of, look, I'm finna exploit these motherfuckers. I'm finna do my best job to, you know what I'm saying, confront the problems at hand at the forefront of the government. I'm finna confront the problems at hand that everybody else is scared to step up to. But the only thing you do is put yourself on the limelight. Well, in the limelight, you make yourself a big ass target. You know, every celebrity that done that made themselves a big ass target, gang. I don't care how you look at it. Once you become a big ass target, there's really nothing you can do to take that target off your back. Definitely not the way the government plays.
Burnham had stopped creating content solely for YouTube, expressing very clearly why he quit.
In 2006, 2007, when I was 16, 17, you guys were 10, whatever, I was convinced, like, and I think most people were like, oh, Oscar-winning movies and shorts and everything will be YouTube videos in 8 years. It has not happened. And the reason it hasn't happened is because, like, it just sucks. I mean, go on YouTube and look at like a majority of user-generated content. It is god-awful. I know there's some really good stuff, and I know there are probably a lot of people doing good work. They're not getting the most views. The most popular people are, you want to talk about like translated mediums and derivative stuff. It's just like kids talking about other pop culture. It's the Tonight Show posting their own clips on it. This was supposed to be like the medium that bypassed all the corporations and bypassed all this stuff. And it isn't. We lost the internet. I stand by that the internet had a chance to be like the people's medium. And
I mean, you know, in a sense, you know what he's saying, but it's like this, Bo. They allow him to get up there and utilize them. And also, this another play for play to me. They let this nigga make millions. They let him, you know, get up there and earn fans. They even let his whack ass CD, no disrespect, Bo, his whack ass CD get gold. It wouldn't go. You understand what I'm saying? So they proved not only, okay, you a culprit because you talking about what the system does and about the system and how they exploit little girls and how they exploit, you know, the celebrities and take, you know, shit from them and use them and embarrass them. But you also exploited how you are using the system to make how you got to use the system to exploit them, and you know, but it didn't work. So you continue to stay in the limelight. You enjoyed the money they gave you. You didn't turn the money back in. You didn't say I don't want it. You didn't say that. You didn't say I don't need it because I know what y'all trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Bo, you took that motherfucking check, you ran with that check, started living good, doing interviews and shit like that. Like, come on, gang. Make that shit make sense. So all in all, when you get to doing shit like that, motherfuckers look at you different, like, hold on. You know, like, what's really going on? Like, is you really trying to exploit them? Is you really, you know, for real about what you're saying? Or is you just bullshitting and you keep taking these checks? You know what I'm saying? Because, Bo, you sure taking them checks, nigga.
Lost. I was a YouTuber that posted 13 3-minute videos over the course of 3 years. I mean, that was my presence on YouTube, you know? And now being a YouTuber is posting 15-minute videos every other day of your life. You know, it's wild. And it sort of felt like what YouTube asked of you 10 years ago was, you got a little funny thing to post it. And now it's like, live, reflect yourself, be there. It's weird, you know?
I understand what he's trying to get to. I can understand what he's trying to point out, but along with them asking for that, don't you believe that the people who's on YouTube push for that? I mean, because it's like this, like some of the highest paid YouTubers and streamers, they, you know, found themselves doing challenges and shit like Cosnet. Like they doing more for YouTube. They doing longer videos, 24-hour streams. Motherfuckers, I'm gonna go stream for 3 days, 72 hours and shit like that of that nature. You feel me? Raising the bar of the YouTuber work field. Like y'all raising bars, gang, that y'all know damn well other people probably don't got the production to do type of videos y'all got. They don't got the type of, you know what I'm saying? The power of the team. They don't got the money to do the type of YouTube videos y'all got. Mr. Beast, one of them, that nigga started doing videos and shit that was like top notch, my nigga. He doing top notch shit. Like the shit to Mr. Beast video, you know damn well the regular streamer can't do. You know, he ain't got the money. He just don't got the money. So, you know, I think in that aspect, yeah, they was over the top a little bit. YouTube went way over the top.
It's the same thing, like, you know, you used to be on Facebook and you make a little website and it's like, oh, my little picture and my interests. And now it's like Instagram and Twitter. What do you think? What do you look like? What do you think? Those are base, weird, deep questions.
However, he did upload this special to YouTube entirely for free, which today sits at over 25 million views. What received overwhelmingly positive reviews and certified him as a mainstream comedian and artist. From there, he unsuccessfully tried to pivot into scripted television. Burnham would be the star of the show. Zach Stone is going to be famous, portraying the protagonist, a teenager who spent the money he was going to use on college tuition to hire a camera crew to document his life at home. The character believed he could manufacture fame for himself by making himself look like the star of a reality show with staged events.
Hey, is that Zach Stone? Did he reinvent himself? Yes, and yes. Who's that hot girl on Zach's arm? Is that Christy Ackerman?
Yep.
I'll do the voices, okay?
Zach Stone is going to be famous, premiered on MTV in May of 20.
Hey, that part was funny, dog. He funny as hell. Like, dude, he did have a talent about himself. Like I said, he had a talent about himself. Yes, he could have been a funny motherfucker if he just would have acted right. He could have still been funny motherfucker. He probably would have still been here to this day, gang. If he would have just kept his culture. He had to hold his culture. You know what I'm saying? Stay balanced. Get your little bag, and then when you get rich enough, then you come out and do all this motherfucking shit. All this really shit, all this exposing the industry shit. Then that would have been the time for you to do it once you made your money from it. But to come out and do that shit now, nah.
2013, despite earning generally positive reviews from critics, including Newsday, which described the show as almost too clever, funny, and ironic for MTV, the show struggled in the ratings during its run, leading to its ultimate cancellation after the first season. In a bittersweet message to his Facebook, he wrote, "If you like the show, I am sorry that you won't be getting more of it soon, but please don't feel sorry for me. I am the luckiest guy that I know. Thank you all so very much."
That's wild. That's wild. One season that game go when they get to play with you. That's what happened with Jim Carrey. Everything Jim Carrey was trying to do, every time Jim Carrey went for another chance to try, it turned him down. Every show he got on, that bitch would get turned down. It wouldn't last long. It was a lot of shit going on behind these music scenes too. You feel me? I ain't saying Bo all the way wrong, but I'm saying the way he went about doing it was wrong. He came out a different way. He could expose their ass a different way. You know, there's all ways. There's many sorts of ways you could have did this, Bo, but you know, they couldn't wait to cancel a motherfucker. That's their first thing. Definitely when they know your agenda, man, shit, you getting canceled. We don't give a fuck what you talking about. You getting canceled, my boy. You better not come out here with that say the world shit. They don't want to hear that. They making big money. The moment you stop them from making that money, they own your motherfucking butt.
Bo. Aside from his short stint on the 6-second video sharing app Vine, Burnham would remain out of the public eye. He occasionally posted on social media or attended an event here and there, but he spent 3 years working on his songwriting and carefully crafting new theatrical performances, which were on full display in his most successful stand-up special to date, Make Happy. Thematically, Make Happy was nearly the exact same as What, but perhaps slightly less interpretive and more to the point, and it also is probably Bo's funniest special. He remained consistent in his ability to weave together various genres and styles, blending stand-up comedy, musical theater, and performance art in a way that made his show unpredictable.
I wonder how much money did these shows cost to, put together? That's what I want to know. It looked like he spent a lot of money. You got the fans and shit. Like the real, fans blowing high quality air in the background, got your hair moving and shit. I don't know if his wardrobe was really much or did he have to pay for much, but I do want to know how much these shows costed because they wasn't just running Bo these free shows. Bo had to drop that bread. That's why I said what I said. Like, bro, you can't just go out there exposing the industry and, they paying you. My bad, Joe. They paying you. They dropping money on you. So I know Bo was receiving big money. He had to have the millions. You feel me? He had to have the millions. But his delivery should have changed. His agenda should have changed, if you ask me. I think his message should have changed and maybe not just been a message to attack the same motherfuckers he used and they get paid. The same motherfuckers you need to, get your message around the world, whichever message that is. I think that's where they, fucked him up at because look, he now exposed himself. He like, yo, this is what I'm here to do. This is what I am aiming for, and this is what I ain't finna do. I ain't finna stand for this. So, I think Bo should have went about it a different way, like other artists and celebrities should have also.
We'll do a racial joke about the white people so you don't feel uncomfortable. White people, we like the same foods. Favorite sandwich, peanut butter and jelly, macaroni and our favorite chips, salt and Wow. Who said it? Get the cameras on them.
Straight White Male is a song on the problems one faces when cursed with being Caucasian, heterosexual, and male, with the irony being that they don't face as many problems since straight white men have historically caused most of the oppression experienced by women, ethnic minorities, and those a part of the LGBTQ community, among others.
We used to have all the money and land, and we still do, but it's not as fun now. I wrote that song because I just think it's so funny, these straight white men that are coming out and and these most of what I hear are the men's rights activists and stuff. It's it's the funniest thing in the world where it's but affirmative action, what are you talking? It's everything else in the world is working in your favor. Everything else. Literally everything else. Can they have one thing? Can we do one thing to make other people more comfortable?
The last
Damn. That was straightforward. Bo really spoke how he felt. He look, I'm tired of these straight white men coming out talking about, look, we tired of this, we tired of that, it's not this, it don't work for us, everything is, look, y'all had everything working in y'all goddamn favor. Can we just let one thing work for us? Can we just let one thing work for us? It's a lot of people that probably feel like that around the world. They white people has been taking over for years, and still years to come because of the power they hold. Because of the money they hold, the positions they hold in life. And at the end of the day, I think people speaking out like that, yes, can other cultures have these things too? Can other cultures be made to be happy and satisfied with some of the same things we got? I think that was, I don't think he was doing too much right there. I think he was punching right on the nail, right where he should have been. I like that.
15 minutes of Make Happy takes a dramatic turn as Bo shares that his comedy is almost always about performing itself because he thinks that people are at all times doing a performance for one another. He explained, they say it's like the me generation. It's not. The arrogance. It's taught or it was cultivated. It's self-conscious. That's what it is. It's conscious of self.
Social media, it's just the market's answer to a generation that demanded to perform. So the market said, here, perform everything to each other all the time for no reason. But what I do know is that if you can live your life without an audience, you should do it.
He then transitions to a half rant, half auto-tuned song that was...
Now that's deep. He had the crowd awfully quiet, listening to exactly what he was saying. And he was, exploiting these marketing teams and exploiting these social media teams, saying, hey, yo, since y'all want to perform, how about y'all perform everything to each other for nothing? And just always stay performing. And don't even fucking look up and put your eyes on the business you're doing over here. Just stay on social media. And that right there is one of the craziest things, but it's also true because, like right now, that's what's going on. The world is fully distracted. The world is fully distracted with social media, booty shaking, fights, killings, all types of things that's taking place. And nobody stopping to pay attention. Nobody waking up. You understand what I'm saying? So...
was inspired by Kanye West, who at the time was on his Yeezus tour, taking breaks in songs to talk directly to the audience about issues in his personal life.
I told you before I started that I was so arrogant that I thought that I would be able to change my own narrative and outsmart the media eventually. Because now that I actually signed.
Right.
I don't think that I can handle this right.
Look at them, they're just staring at me like, come and watch the skinny kid with a steadily declining mental health and laugh as
he said a steadily declining mental health. Where the hell was Bo going with this? You see, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of this shit, gang, a lot of this stuff, I think you ain't gotta have desperation when you're doing this. When you're doing this, when you're trying to explain whatever it is you're doing, don't have that desperation. I think the desperate shit will get you fucked up. It'll put you in a situation you don't want to be in. If he was trying to pull a Kanye stunt right there, he by far lost it, man. If you ask me, Kanye even sort of stopped himself, you know what I'm saying, from these rants. He do them now and then, but at the end of the day, everybody, like, they point out something. Look, it's going to get pointed out, gang. It's going to get pointed out. You got to let the right people point it out, though. Us pointing it out don't do us no justice. We people with less power. And then we come along in the game thinking we can expose them, and that make them feel mad as a motherfucker. Like, look, man, fuck, we finna wipe their ass out, gang. We're going to make sure they never sell another. You feel me? We're going to make sure of that. We definitely is.
After this special.
I don't know, man. I am not lying when I am saying it's a very good possibility I don't do it anymore after this one comes out in a couple months. There is a real possibility of that. The show is sort of about my anxiety towards performing. I mean, today was fun and we screwed around with the kids and stuff. But you'll see in the special what it kind of is about. Yeah, I like writing. I feel like I'm a writer. So I'd like to continue to write. I'd love to continue to make theater shows maybe for other people, but I might be reaching the end of the line for me.
So like more poetry books and stuff like that? Possibly?
Yeah, or writing a show for another person, or like a stage show or musical or something.
You try to a poetry book. You want to do books? No, nigga, that ain't what I said I want to do. I want to do the motherfucking books. I'm going to do something else.
I'm a little tired of myself. I'm a little tired of writing for myself. I kind of want to collaborate a little bit. There's only so much I can do, and so much of what I write is limited by my ability. Like, I'm not a great singer or anything. It's so great to write for someone who can really belt.
Although Bo's outlook here might seem a bit overly self-critical, his material and creative direction for both of his specials were almost exactly the same. The only things that felt new.
They was exactly the same. Exploitation. He was trying to exploit the companies, which was a stupid idea, man. They paying you millions. Do your fucking job. And then when you get enough money, then you exploit them, you dummy.
Were these silly and stupid jokes, which don't really mean all that much. However, his societal critiques, his life as a straight white male, or his love-hate dynamic for performing summarizes his entire act. Since he became famous at a young age, he didn't have much time to be normal. He knows being a celebrity is unrelatable to comedy fans, and typically the more famous a comic gets, the less relatable they become.
I mean, yeah, I think that's what anything though, like the more famous you get, even with music, the less relatable you become. And I can say that for a fact. Drake having that problem right now, he's complaining about not being able to control his narrative of his music. And what that means is basically his managing team or the music management team, they want him to continuously rap and sing about the things that got him in the position he's in now to make all that goddamn money. Okay, I understand all that, but at the end of the day, if he feel like he can dip in different color bags and different lanes of music and creativity, then why not let him? Ain't that what y'all signed him for? Y'all signed him to be able to do it, and why not let him? You understand what I'm saying?
Which negatively impacts their jokes. But another huge reason why Bo was not going to continue to do comedy was because his anxiety was so bad to the point where he felt physically debilitated on stage, backstage, or even just doing ordinary tasks.
Well, it was so constant that I didn't think it could have been. It was every day, which actually probably should have pointed to anxiety. But and then it really, when I was 23, I had my first panic attack on stage, and that was like, oh shit.
I mean, but damn, like, is it not that with this music shit, should you not work every day? Is that too much? You know what I'm saying? I'm only asking because, like, is doing that work every day? I can imagine going on tours every day would be hard. You feel me? Because going on tours every day. See, if you go on a tour for 30 days every day, your voice will be hoarse. You know what I'm saying? Eventually you're gonna lose your voice. Eventually you're gonna be tired, not enough sleep, not enough REM sleep you're getting. I can imagine that, you know, that should be wear and tear. But he said every day can lead to anxiety. You know, what type of anxiety? Like, is it the lower level anxiety? Like, I always thought being a music artist and with this type of money, you'll love it. You feel me? That's what I always believed.
How did the show continue?
It continued. I've had, like, you know,
you pushed through it.
Yeah, I've had about 10 on stage, and I have a script that I have to keep to. So I have this inner monologue freaking out, and then I'm having to perform.
But you found that you're able to still like perform the script while having a somewhat out of body experience.
Yeah, I was. But it was like I'd be a little out of breath. So I'd be the entire show for 20 minutes would be existing like on like the inhale kind of. It definitely wasn't my best work.
It seemed like no matter what Burnham did, he could not subside his anxiousness and perform.
I mean, can we say that was something Burnham was going through personally, or do we gotta say that the show gave him that? Do we gotta say, because Burnham already came in the industry. He came in the industry with this notion that they already had an agenda, right? And that's why I said that, you know, I said that to say that, like, he had a reason to believe that the industry had a notion to use people, which now we see everybody got that same agenda. And I wonder, could that have set off his anxiety and had him feeling the way he was feeling?
Performing just made it worse.
It's very literal. I cannot handle performing in front of you people. It gives me panic attacks. I want to stop. And I did.
And so it was decided. Bo Burnham was.
He said he want to stop and give him panic attacks. Is it because the things you were saying, Bo? You feel me? Eventually that shit started getting people coming to Bo saying certain things. You feel me? You know, like, hey, yo, look, we know what you're trying to do. If you don't shut the hell up, we're gonna harm you. We're gonna, you know, I wonder, is that what was scaring him? Before, if y'all was watching, when he doing all this performance shit on stage, when he was saying the first couple things he was saying and doing all that stupid flipping shit, it wasn't bothering him then. You know, I wonder, was he that type of child that was bothered in school in front of a crowd? You know what I'm saying? Like, if he was, then it'll make more sense. But to be panicked and to not want to perform in front of all these people again, you feel me? After you done this numerous of times, they done paid you, this was what you wanted to do. Every time you came out, you got the fan blowing your hair back, you got the lights going and shit. You illuminated, my nigga. Like, now what? Now what's up? Like, now why? You don't want to do it no more. I always wondered that about artists who come out like that. Like, you know what? This is too much for me. I can't handle it. You know, I'm going through a lot. What the hell exactly are you going through? Would you be willing to tell us?
Was done performing live on stage. Instead, he wrote and directed his first feature film, 8th Grade, which was produced and distributed by A24 before premiering at the Sundance Film Festival in January of 2018. 8th Grade follows 13-year-old Kayla Day during her final week of middle school. Shy and socially awkward, Kayla struggles with anxiety and self-confidence while navigating the pressures of adolescence, social media, and the desire to fit in. Despite her timid nature,
it could have been a movie that he wanted to write and create, but about himself. You understand, like revealing some of his internal, you know, feelings. I mean, his internal truth. And I noticed that, like, it's the same way, like a lot of people used to say, well, the Simpsons predicting everything. Well, no, in all actuality, it was a person over there that was in the Epstein files that was a Simpsons writer. So that's why it sounded like they were predicting everything. You know, in all actuality, they wasn't, you know, but I think this is a movie Bo wanted to do, basically to show us his internal feelings, his true self, you know what I'm saying, to make us really understand him. And that's why I asked, like, damn, was he the type that was already nervous coming into the industry? Was he the type that was already, you feel me, like, he could have been, he already had the idea that, look, they are exploiting us teens, using us for whatever we do on film, on social media. I mean, you know.
In real life, Kayla posts motivational YouTube videos, giving advice that she struggles to follow herself. Even though this film is not an autobiography, it feels heavily rooted in Bo's own experience as a young person trying to navigate this hyper-connected.
I just said that, you understand what I'm saying? I just said that, gang. I did. I just said that at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of artists do this. You know, I feel like a lot of artists do this. They go to the extent of creating some type of passage or a video or something that represents their own life. You know, they give us the sense of how they truly feel or how they live. And at the end of the day, I feel like if that's something you want to do, then do it. But, you know, don't do it from a hurt standpoint. I feel like if you're going to give us a biography of your life, don't do it from a hurt standpoint and don't hide from it. You know, do it from your standpoint. That'll help people understand who you are. That'll help you also face these mental health reasons, you know, of being afraid, being scared, you know, being, you know, naive about taking that leap of battling yourself, because in the end of the day, yourself is the toughest battle you got to deal with. Your mind, your mental, you know, that's one of the toughest battles that you don't have to ever have in life, is battling yourself, your ego. You know, once you learn to kill that ego, gang, you learn to live free, you learn to be the true self, you learn to be the true you. You understand what I'm saying? And you stop influencing, and you stop letting people convince you of who you are. You know, the moment you take your power back, that's when you will recognize that you always had power. You know, always had the help of the universe, no matter what. So to the people out there that's really trying to, you know, make sure their mental health stay in check, always believe in yourself, always have self-love right away first. Self-love. To keep your mental health in check, self-love, love yourself, love who you are. Even with the mistakes you made in life, love yourself. Forgive yourself for those mistakes you made in life, because a lot of us, we beat ourselves up too much about certain mistakes. You know, the poor little job was crazy. You understand what I'm saying? The job was and, you know, with that being said, man, you know, I got to end it. I love y'all. Y'all make sure y'all take care, stay safe. Shout out to everybody out there that come to the channel and that rock with me. Make sure y'all share the video. I got some more stuff I'm going to drop, though. Don't even worry about it. I'm a little tired now. Probably time to go back to sleep. Yeah, I hopped up middle of the night. It's 3:26 here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to my boy Terrence the Great. I ain't heard from you, brother. You feel me? I don't know where you at. Hopefully you're all right. And shout out to everybody else, man. I am out, gang.
Man, you bitch niggas better ante up or elevate. I need 6-figure money, won't have a bucks and hella cake. Fuck boy, I been on dummy. Shooting hella ops, make them a day. If not him, then kill his mama. Make him feel his wrath in the hell away. Hydro shock bullets diving through his chest, watch as they swim away. I don't stop shooting till you die in your last breath, and then I skid away. This a hollow tip.